So right now we're in what folks are calling a soft civil war. The powers that be can't just declare martial law without there being a reason, a big lie in this case, a big reason for declaring martial law. So the vaccine passes per se are being used to establish a de facto martial law. Having said that, keyboard warriors fighting amongst each other and against each other. You've got Antifa here, you've got Black Lives Matter here, and all that kind of stuff. Cities are being allowed to burn down, and looting is being allowed to occur. Do you know why? Why is the government allowing this? A point is reached where people like you and I say, stop, help us, help. And the government say, well, I'm glad you asked. From this point on, here's martial law. Department of Homeland Security is going to cut off these roads that lead out of the state here. They're going to seal off these cities here and do that. Now we're going to have more than a de facto stepping stone martial law. We're going to have real martial law. Playbook, Communist Manifesto. Divide the people first, then divide families, right? It's right. It's play by play. It's right by the Communist Manifesto, right by the book, guys. So that's what's happening to us. We're being turned into a Marxist communist state. It's divide and conquer. First the people, soft civil war now. You know, instead they're not going to allow a hard civil war. You know, the government will come in and prevent that from happening. But they're allowing this pretext. They're allowing the cities to burn and looting to occur, so that it comes near to anarchy, and then the government will have to step in, or we'll ask them to step in and say, help. So it's all planned. It's all perfectly planned. And it's logical, folks. If you're the powers that be, all this is extremely logical. You've got to control food. You've got to control transportation, education, religion. You've got to control energy, particularly energy and food. When all those things are controlled, you've got control. But that has to happen first, and it cannot happen as long as your population has guns. All these control mechanisms, you know, are in place and dynamic. They're happening now. We can see it all around us too. But before the complete control can become instituted in my country, in the United States of America, guns must be taken away. We cannot be allowed to stand up for ourselves and fight for our rights, our human rights. Look at what happened to Australia. They gave up their guns, and now they surrendered to the powers that be, and now they're under complete control. The Army this week is banging on doors, busting them open, dragging people who are infected with COVID, and they know where you are because the vaccine passes on your smartphone. So they know what door to break down, and dragging these people off to not FEMA camps, but internment camps, right? And more than that, they're literally forcing them to be injected. So that's what it's going to come down to unless we stand up for our rights. And we can only do that with the provisions that the Second Amendment has allowed us to have.